level. How frustrating is it to finish in the second round this year and just know that every year you guys have been close, but you haven't been able to get to the finals or get that championship once or back?
It's very, very frustrating, especially the amount of work that individually I put in. But I'm gonna keep chipping away. I'm gonna keep going and keep going until I can't go anymore, And I feel like we're a piece away, and we just got to keep trying to figure it out, keep trying to grow and put the right pieces around me and Russ.
Mike D'Antoni just announced that he is no longer going to be the head coach of the Houston Rockets. Leaves us with just one question. What is next for the Houston Rockets? They have no money to spend, very little trade assets to give up, and no future because they traded all their picks away. So it's not looking too good for them right now. That's just the beginning. The only center they have is Tyson Chandler, and now they're probably not going to be sticking with small ball anymore with a new coach. And if they do, are they going to be able to run small ball as effective as D'Antoni? I mean, even his wasn't even that effective, but I think that's the best you can get out of small ball. It's hard to play because it's demoralizing, especially on defense, and you get no rebounds. You just have to go for steals, and that's just not the way to win. You need to get rebounds in the NBA. Now, according to Mark Stein, Jeff Van Gundy is the current favorite to be the new coach of the Houston Rockets, and I would love Jeff Van Gundy to coach Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Just imagine the things he would say to them. He would humble them real quick, or they'd get him fired, one of the two. Listen to Tracy McGrady on Jeff Van Gundy and James Harden.
Back game 6 in Houston, there's no Kevin Durant in the lineup, and you lose that game. It's coaching, and you got to hold your best player accountable. You watch some of these plays where Chris Paul has the ball, he's bringing it up. James Harden is just floating. He's disinterested in the offense. If he doesn't have the ball, he's not engaged. And that is on coaching to get up. You would never allow me to do that. You would never allow me to have Rafer or somebody have the ball and I'm just floating on the offensive end and not say anything to me.
Well, the one thing I would say to that, you need voluntary cooperation from your best players.
So T-Mac is saying it's the coaching because the coach should never allow their players to just stand around like that. But then you hear Van Gundy come back and say, I never had to coach you guys to do that. You guys just did it. So would he coach James Harden or would James Harden coach Van Gundy? It's tough to say. James Harden's more than likely going to have a lot of say in who the next coach is, so he better respect that coach when he picks him. And I think what they're going to do, since they have no other option, is basically just run back the same group that they have or a similar group. Maybe they can find a super cheap center. I don't know about that. And then they would just try to run it back with the similar team they have now and hope for different results with a different coach and a different philosophy. But that's asking for a lot. The other option is to just blow everything up. Trade James Harden, trade Russell Westbrook, trade all the guys you can trade, and then maybe for picks and stuff, and then just completely rebuild. Get a coach that's just willing to coach young guys and completely say this is the end of the Houston Rockets. But knowing Tillman Fertitta and Daryl Morey, that's probably not going to be the case. They still want to win now somehow, some way. They always try to find a way. So you're probably going to see the same team next year. Now, something crazy could happen. Either they get a genius coach that just makes every adjustment in the book and somehow knows how to beat every team, or Russell Westbrook develops a jump shot and makes better decisions late in games and then in the playoffs, or James Harden moves off ball more, actually takes some mid-range shots, and finds ways to be more effective, especially down the stretch. Both Harden and Westbrook have issues when it comes down to the stretch of games, just being themselves. They don't attack the same way. They don't play the same way. They look nervous. They look timid. They look like James Harden doesn't look like he cares sometimes, and it's just hard to watch. The only question with that is it too little, too late? Because Russell Westbrook just had a quad injury. He's turning 32 soon, and PJ Tucker's getting older, and he's not going to be the same defensive player that he was. So you're looking at a declining roster even further. I feel like even if they make those adjustments, it's too little, too late. Something will go wrong, and it will still end up blowing up in their face. The bottom line is, especially in the playoffs, we're always going to trust Kawhi and Paul George, and we're always going to trust LeBron and Anthony Davis. Are we ever going to trust Russell Westbrook and James Harden? That's the question I'll leave you guys with. Make sure to like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and comment what you think the Houston Rockets should do and who their next coach should be. Have a good one.